Hey, and continue with the signs. We're on Taurus. I've shuffled these decks, but I'm just gonna do a couple more with you guys. Alright. I'm gonna use the Animal Oracle. No, we're not. I said it, but we're gonna use the Halloween Oracle and the lesson cards. This is the third time I'm sitting down to do your reading, because it happens. This one already came out. Trick or treat. Mischief and play. So it must be what it wants to be. So, underneath is Skull of Flowers, creating through ashes. It's kind of playful also. And we're going to use the lesson cards to kind of flesh this out a little further. Before we do a Celtic Cross with the Kim Krantz decks, the Animal Oracle and the Tarot. Okay, get one of these, please, Spirit. Guilt. I release any belief that no longer assists in my growth. Very similar to the creating through the ashes. Okay. I have some thoughts, but we'll see how things evolve. And growth is interesting with the mischief and play. Because that just feels very... Just trick-or-treating in general feels like a childlike energy. So growth. Being in like a page student energy. Beginner's mind. As I say that, courage. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. Okay. After overcoming guilt, maybe you'll find some courage. This is good. This is good. Okay. I have shuffled this one several times. Let's just do the reading several times. Ace of Pentacles at the bottom. It's very nice beginner mind energy. Tangible. Keep looking. I don't mean to look, but it just happens, so I'm going to try not to. Turn it this way. One more without looking. So we're going to do a Celtic Cross. We're going to do 2 cards for each placement. So it flushes it out a little bit. Oh, yes. Okay. You. What crosses? Headspace. Root of the matter. Recent past. Near future. How you see yourself. How others see you. Hopes and fears. And an outcome with an overall energy of the star. That's beautiful, playful energy also. I feel like that ties a little bit into the courage. Wishing upon a star kind of takes like a little bit of that leap of faith energy. A little bit. Okay. You. Sea Serpent and Father of Cups. This screams cycles to me, although it is a spirit energy, so this is a little more evolved than like maybe the earthworm would be. But this Father of Cups, King of Cups energy, is actually moving away from these cycles, which is good. I think. As that character looks like not super excited. Almost looks like evil eye energy too. It's the energy of like even if you had grown a lot, you got stuck again, which is okay. Because we're all, like, every aspect of life is lessons, lessons, lessons. Okay, so, Father of Cups energy, though. That is good. At least, coming to some kind of emotional proficiency. Or, well, crosses. Mother of Swords. And the Sun. This looks like, twofold, perhaps. A little too critical of even things that appear to be nice. Like the Sun energy. But also, either there's an illumination happening here about, she's looking backwards. The sun illuminates things, right? So she's looking back at something. So this wouldn't necessarily be a value statement, it'd be more just clarity about the past is what crosses. You know. That makes sense. That's good. Alright, so headspace. Okay. Okay. So, Dragonfly with the Daughter of Cups. So, the daughters are a page and the sons are a knight energy. So what I see is I always see like a dragonfly as a hovering above, like rising above. It's not necessarily like rising to the occasion, it's kind of like taking things in and basically handling them. But it's not like a slog. It's just like, okay. Like an alligator would be like sitting in it. But this is kind of like an air energy. You're observing it. And then in this emotional page energy, going to decide where to start, because it's a page. Just good. It's another mental energy like the Queen of Swords. So looking... Okay. Root of the matter. Beaver and the Three of Wands. So, the root of the matter is needing to put the work in. Isn't that funny? This stuff is always so relatable. Putting the work in, but moving forward, because you can't change the past. Guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer insist on my soul's growth. So, like, you're not sitting in it. You're gonna put the work in. This isn't like... It's kind of giving me Three of Pentacles vibes, where, like, you're gonna start building something. You're gonna, like, work on a team. But not quite. It's kind of... Three of Wands is more like a waiting. But with the Beaver energy, you're not waiting. It's like getting yourself to that ship, or building your own ship. Yeah. That is the root of the matter. Needing to do it. You need to do the damn thing yourself. That's, because you've already thought about it. You've thought about the past. Stabilize your emotions. Okay. Recent past. Strength and the Peacock. Oh, that's so interesting. What an interesting energy. Now this either a confrontation, certainly, because these are two very, oh! My nose, sorry, people. Or, it's funny. So, as I do see, this is two energies with ego. But also, even if this was just yourself, choosing which way to be in the world, perhaps? I mean, the peacock in this deck is actually not as egoic as it looks. Like, it's actually kind of more about sitting in a capable, evolved energy and just not needing to explain oneself. But people might perceive like you're intentionally being flashy. Whereas the lion has less glitz and just sit in power. Also, sort of a self-assured energy. But nobody would necessarily, like, okay, if it was Leo energy, kind of like, you might consider a little bit of, like, overabundance of confidence, perhaps at times, depending, you know? But if you were, like, we're just thinking just the animal kingdom alone, like, you might perceive one as potentially more vain than the other. What a weird energy for the recent past, though. So I'm like, trying to give it to you both ways. Like, is this two people? Or is this aspects of yourself? Were you both of these? And that was just like too fucking much? We're all guilty of these things, people. Like, I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just saying. This is just a thought exercise. This is not to predict your future. This is not to tell you about yourself. This is only to be for funsies, thought-provoking, should you be interested in such things. Nobody's making you listen to this, okay? Okay. But I'm glad you're here, if you're into it. Near future. Ace of Cups and Father of Pentacles. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so near future, if you take that earth energy of the beaver, well, although he is water energy, he feels so earthy because he's in the water, but there's something about, like, doing the physical labor of a beaver that feels very earthy to me. Anyways. If in your headspace you've got this cup of the daughter, like this daughter of cups. But in the near future, if you've, you know, mastered both the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles, you can head into this new emotional beginning. Whatever that is for you. I mean, that could just be pursuit of any passion, anything that brings you any kind of emotional, even just emotional interest, because fulfillment is just one cup. Just to pay that start. Anyways, how you see yourself? Okay. Okay. So, how you see yourself? Frog and the Mother of Cups. So we've already had the Father of Cups out here as who you are. Maybe your feminine side is acknowledging a looking back and healing. Needing to look back and heal. Which is what we got in the Mother of Swords. Interesting. You were looking back at something that was illuminated. in this energy that was what crosses you. So that's, maybe this is something that's difficult. I mean, of course it is. Looking back and realizing there's some things that you have yet to heal. This frog energy with the water. I mean, frogs need the water, but they don't have to be in it all the time. Which is kind of, similar to emotions themselves. But the water itself is also physically nourishing to them. So this is like a card of healing. So, it's almost like sending her little self, I don't know why. So I don't necessarily think it's your inner child, but maybe that's an aspect. But it's like, must go heal those things from the past. How other people see you. So it's like a little nerve-wracking, this part. Another superficial energy. So funny. Oh my god. This is gonna follow me like the plague, I think, for this series. It's fine. Other people see you. If they see you in a superficial energy, you might get communication about that. Trying to think, because see wands as action and swords as like a communication, thoughts, mental, more cerebral. So it's interesting to be like superficial, but then there's this thoughts energy. But this could be communication. Maybe people think what you're communicating is fake. It doesn't make it true. But it could be how you're being perceived. You, we, me. That's fine. People are always allowed to think what they think. So, hopes and fears. This energy actually came out in Aries, I think, as like, I don't know how these cards are still together. I shuffled a bunch. I did this reading, well, I only laid out the Celtic Cross twice, but, which I didn't even look at the first time. I got a distraction. Son of Wands and the Earthworm. Hopes and fears. Moving forward foolishly, back into a pattern. Now this is a fear. Like you might want to move forward passionately. But what stops you is thinking you're actually going backwards. But back here, we already determined the sea serpent was the cycle you were on. You were already on a more informed cycle. You got stuck again. But you're moving away from it with your emotional intelligence. You're afraid of taking a foolhardy action. Back into another cycle. Like, that is a fair and honest fear. Okay. Outcome. Isn't that interesting? Wow. That's some yucky energy. Okay, so. Oh, okay, sorry. I thought it was the 10. It's not the 10. It's the 9. Outcome. 9 of Swords. And the zebra. And I was initially like, oh man, like I thought it was the 10. So, which would have been completion anyway, so it's like mixed. That is not all bad either. And sometimes I see the zebra as a little bit standing out. But this is kind of like the lion. Like, I'm going to put this down, and I will explain. But I want to make a point about these. This one doesn't have to put its plumage up to be truly admired, the peacock. They're beautiful even with their plumage folded. They would make the decision to open it to be more attractive, so that inherently the fact that they have the choice would make people feel some kind of way. They can choose to blend in, or they can choose to stand out. And when they choose to stand out, like, how dare they? The lion's just a lion. Like, feel however you want about it, but, like, they don't give a fuck. Okay. And that's a very powerful energy. You don't really question it, alright? Excuse me. So when I first saw the zebra, it gave me the same sort of flashy vibes. But this is very similar to the lion. I know this is a strength card, but that's very obviously a lion. So because the zebra is less threatening than the lion, they're inherently going to get less respect for standing out just as much, even though they don't have a choice. They just do. So people can think you're as fake as they want. It doesn't make it true. You think you're being as flashy as they want, as they think you are. That doesn't make it true. I mean, sometimes, sometimes we are all a little too big for our bridges. Totally, of course. Don't let people squash you just because they are gonna insist that they know it's in your head. So, if this was you, in your head, having guilt about being the peacock lion, choosing, but also being powerful, just 'cause. Even the starfish. You can be a starfish from time to time, too. Have the courage to move away from this headache. Be kind to people. Do the things you need to do to be a good person. Take those action steps, like an Aries. Learn any lessons, any triggers that are having people feel some kind of way from time to time. But, like, what are you gonna do? We've got fucking stripes. Skull of flowers. Creating through the ashes. It's so pretty. So, if you were sitting in ashes for a while, sitting in this just mental prison, create something new. Not everybody has to be involved. Anyway. Interesting energy. Love you guys. Be well.